Hello, I'm Bernard Hickey from interest.co.nz and welcome to a special housing report brought to you in association with the BNZ. Today I want to jump across the Tasman to Sydney and Melbourne, where there's some real news developing in the housing markets there. In the last couple of weeks things have gone very quiet. It's not just because we're heading into winter. There's been reports of auctions failing, of people not even turning up to auctions, and of demand from home buyers, particularly first home buyers, drying up. That's because we've seen 7 increases in the official cash rate in Australia in the last 6 months or so, and variable mortgages rate there are now well over 7.5%. That's seen as the pain threshold for many buyers in the Australian housing market. We're also seeing signs that this is affecting the Australian economy because, again, it too is quite dependent on housing. And when people feel rich, they spend. And at the moment, house prices have pretty much stopped rising. This is after quite a boom in the last year or so. Prices rose between 10 and 20% in some places, in part because the Australian economy was doing so well, and there had been a first home buyers grant from the government. And interest rates, at least for a while, were relatively low. Now, why should we care about this in New Zealand? Well, a lot of New Zealanders own property in Sydney and Melbourne, or are New Zealanders living there and want to come home, and obviously they can sell their expensive house in Sydney or Melbourne and come back to New Zealand. But also, Australia is a key part of our economic outlook. It is our largest trading partner by far. And when Australia catches a cold, we generally start sneezing as well. So we keep an eye on the Australian housing market because if that market starts to fall sharply, that's going to affect how Australian consumers feel. And they buy a lot of our manufactured goods in particular. And of course, where Australia goes with its economy generally will help drive where our economy goes. I'm Bernard Hickey. That was a special housing report brought to you in association with the BNZ.